we've just found this amazing restaurant and they have a meal for 2 people. It's like all the meat, and I'm going to eat it. I'm going to eat it all. And Dave is going to watch right in his eyes as I eat every bit.
How much of it are you going to eat, Joe?
All of it.
Guys, no, I have no lungs. So I've got some sort of like homemade pork potatoes on it.
No, you won't. It's change, isn't it?
Like pork.
Have you seen how big this is? This is all mine. Let's see if I can do it.
Have we got this?
Oh yeah.
Now we got salad for.
Yeah, I do.
I'll take a pancake off your eggs. That stuff would taste good on a pancake, salad wraps.
So I don't really think there's anything left, so done. About, what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, about 10 minutes. I'm not in the salad though.
Because you're not my friend. Yeah, it was really good, which made it so much easier.
So this is the most traditional Polish place ever, and the music just all of a sudden stops. So I feel, see, it's that dark in here. I feel pretty full, and for someone who has a colostomy bag, eating that much food doesn't really bother me. It's the same as I was before I had my bag. I used to eat a lot of food, and oh my god, I feel so full right now. We're gonna walk back to the apartment to get a taxi, then go back home, and then I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. We're gonna probably cut it off here. If you like this video, please like the video, and I'll catch all of you guys in the next one. Bye. Hello everyone, welcome back to Warsaw. We made it back. No problems with the flight or anything. I obviously stopped filming yesterday at the restaurant we were at. I can't remember what it's called, and I had all that food. So welcome to the video. This is the day after we went to Auschwitz, and yesterday was difficult because obviously it was a very emotional place. Over a million people were killed where we went yesterday by the Nazis because they wanted to completely eradicate all Jews from the world, but mainly from Europe, and they were actually funneling them in to different death camps, and Auschwitz being the biggest. So I didn't want to film while I was there. I find that I thought to myself that it's disrespectful. I wouldn't film a family member's funeral, and I felt like we were like being processioned around a funeral because the place is basically a giant graveyard, and that's even what our tour guide said. I researched the Holocaust before because I did history in school, and I did an art piece on it in college, and I know a lot about it, but I still find it hard to grasp the size of that number. 1 million Jews were killed, and over 1 million people were killed just there. Not all over Europe, but just there where I stood. So, really emotional. And yeah, like I wouldn't want to imagine having to imagine being one of the people who went into these death camps and didn't know they were going there to die. They thought they were going to get a new life. They were going to get moved. It's like, oh, you're Jewish, we don't want you with us, we're going to put you somewhere else. And they weren't okay with it, but they didn't know they were going to literally just be walked into a shower that held 2,000 people, locked in, and then gassed to death. And then people they knew were chosen to then get their bodies, take them away and burn them. Because if they didn't, they would die, or they would force their family members to be hung in front of them. The atrocities go on and on and on. And that's all yesterday was. It was just you walked around, and yeah, there was this corridor full of people who turned up and how long they lasted, and it was the pictures of just all these faces, like hundreds and hundreds of faces just looking at me. And that wasn't even the scale, like that was a small percentage of the scale of it. And it just makes you like, Auschwitz 2, I believe it is, I can't pronounce it, the bigger area where we stood in it and had all the barracks, that held 100,000 people. And it was huge, and it took me like staring to be, it's just like the edge of my horizon kind of thing is where it ended, and that was full of people. All the buildings were full of people. It is a huge area. I think it was like 40 hectares or something, and that area, which held 100,000 people, that many people died 10 times over and more. So that many people that filled that much area were killed, were murdered, cold blood murder. So no, I didn't want to film when I was there. And now I want to do a little bit of a rant without taking away from that, because, you know, that was its own thing. But when you go there, I didn't want to take loads and loads and loads of pictures. Obviously I do social media stuff, but I don't want to take loads of pictures because it takes you away from it. When you look through your phone at 2 tons of human hair that was left, that they used to manufacture cloth and things and then sent back. They made profit from killing people. Anyway, and you're there like filming it and taking pictures. You're not taking it in, your phone's taking it in. You know, the people taking a picture inside the gas chamber that was like one of the first gas chambers that ever be used, and it had claw marks on the walls. Like, why would you want to take a picture of that to to you know, here's my album of the death camp? I understand this has to be shared, you know, it has to be, because we may never forget, we should never forget that this atrocity happened, because, you know, those who don't remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Which is the only image I shared. I shared one image and I didn't want to share anymore. But the people taking there was 3 people, 3 girls that started taking a fucking selfie, like oh my house, like no, it made me so angry. But then I felt so guilty that I was angry, because this is a place where you should be at peace, and, you know, we should all love each other and we shouldn't kill each other. But atrocities still happen, but it's never happened on that scale ever again. Like, you have a graph, like the amount of death around that time from the Nazi regime was, you know, I'm just glad we stopped it. The Red Army came in to stop that from happening here in Auschwitz. So the first people who were killed there were Polish Jews, and then other Jews from all over Europe, and some of them ended up there and then ended up with different death camps. It was quite awful. People lived through it. The human spirit endured. People drew when they were there. People just grinded their teeth and got through it, which I think is amazing, because the situation is you were given like clothes thinner than this, and you were forced to work. I remember seeing a picture of this man, and I thought, he's quite young. You know, the ones where it tells you when they arrived and when they died. He looks quite young. Maybe he would have survived quite a long time. I think he survived about 3 months. 3 months. And that was because he was forced into slave labour. If you were not deemed, you know, worthy of slave labour, they would just send you straight to the gas chamber. Children, not some of the stronger ones maybe, but they had to work just as hard as adults, and they got the same conditions as adults and the same food rations. They died. So many died. So I don't know if I'll put this in. Obviously I could go on and tell you, I mean, yesterday was about 4 or 5 hours of us being explained all of the history. So, you know, if you want to find out more about this, if you already don't know and you want to find out more, I will put a link to some helpful informational websites. So you know, this I've filmed the next day when I felt like I could talk about it, when I felt like it was the right time to talk about it. And yeah, I just couldn't believe some of the people there that were just very insensitive in my eyes. You know, just completely out of it, walking around this place, and there was like, these girls was laughing, not the ones taking the selfie, but some other ones, and that guy was like, shh, could you? And I get it, sometimes when you're in a situation that's so overwhelming, you'll make a little joke to your friends so that they don't break out and cry, and I get that, but what I also need people to understand is, like, you know, just be respectful, you know. You should, certain people I could have just drop kicked, but then that wouldn't exactly be very peaceful, would it? So that's my little thing of it. This has probably gone on for a little bit too long. This is, now I'm in my last proper day here in Poland. We're in Warsaw again. I'm going to make the best of it. We're going to have a great day, and then we fly back tomorrow morning. So this will probably go in my other video, yesterday's video, and then I'll make a new video from today. So, you know, when you watch my next video, this will probably be the beginning, you know, me saying, hello, this is the last day. So, excuse me. So, I'm gonna make some breakfast. All right, you know. It's so hard to talk about. It's just so big, it's just so much. How do you... Right guys, I'll catch you later.